Imagine you come home from work after a long shift. You open the mail to find a bill from the power company stamped "Final Notice" in red all across the front of the envelope. Things were fine until the baby got sick. Your spouse had to take a week off of work to care for her because they don't allow 1-year-olds with RSV in daycare. The doctor prescribed an antibiotic that wasn't covered by insurance, so you had to dip into your meager savings to pay for it. $550. Something had to give, and unfortunately, it was the power bill. What do you do now? It's July in Texas, so AC is kind of essential. I'm Kelly Vaughan with Keller Williams McKinney and the Vaughan team. Many of our neighbors find themselves in situations like this. Life happens and tough choices have to be made. But where do they turn for help? They turn to One Heart McKinney. One Heart McKinney provides information and referrals to residents of McKinney and surrounding communities, connecting them with community resources that can help with things like rent, utilities, food, and clothing. It's my pleasure to introduce you to my friend, Shanita Samuel. She's the Director of Navigation at One Heart McKinney, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about her organization. Welcome, Shanita Samuel. Shanita is the Director of Navigation for One Heart McKinney. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your organization and how you help the people of McKinney?
Great. As you said, we are One Heart McKinney. Our goal is to help people who need help find help. So we want to kind of be that one-stop shop for services. You call us first instead of calling around to the hundreds of nonprofits in the area. But by calling us first, we will direct you to the nonprofit or agency that can best serve you. So the main goal is to help accelerate social services to those in need.
Okay, fantastic. How long has One Heart McKinney been around and serving McKinney?
Yes. So One Heart McKinney started during COVID because we saw the need in the area. So the original group got together and they would work on weekends, go through the applications, and then get those assistance payments out. Once COVID died down, they said, hey, this service is still needed. And so we became a full service nonprofit. So we are now in our 3rd year of service.
Okay. And do you just serve McKinney residents or do you serve surrounding areas?
We serve surrounding areas. At the time when we initially started, and we had a emergency fund, so we were actually giving out funds to help. Those services were only for McKinney residents, but our resources are for everyone. So if you call us from Richardson, Princeton, Solana, we will provide you the direct resource that can help you do by your zip code.
Okay, fantastic. So walk us through, somebody calls One Heart McKinney, what happens?
Okay, so they either call or most likely they will go online and fill out our application at oneheartmckinney.com and .org. You would hit on the I Need Help button. You will fill out that application. One of our navigators will go and call you, kind of get your background story, and direct you to the service that can be provided. If we have emergency funding at the time, which is not our goal, but sometimes we do get donations for certain areas, if you meet the qualifications, and we really don't have a huge qualification process, but we will help you directly. If it's something that we cannot, which is 99% of the time, we will direct you to any agency in your area that we know that has funding and that you would meet the qualifications for. And then once you get with that agency, their process, you would have to go and get qualified through their process.
How many agencies do you guys have sort of in your database?
So far, we have 37. Our goal is to get 100 by the end of the year. One Heart's 3 main tasks that we have been provided was, of course, the first one is to help those who need the help. Our second task is to create the community resource directory. And so we're in the process of that of doing that now, creating that directory with some volunteers that are helping us. And so anytime that you need services and help within Collin County, you can call us, but we will have that link on our website now, which it is on the homepage of the website. You can click on that link and you can type in, hey, I need food and I live in Solana, and it will give you all the food places within a certain mile range, wherever you put that range in there. And then that directory we will keep current, so it will be updated 4 times a year. 2 times by us, by our volunteers and our navigators, and then 2 times a year by that agency. And what happens that they will get a notice like you do when you get your credit card or go online and pay your credit card bill. It'll ask you, is this information still up to date? And if you click a link and says yes, or click a link and say no, they will be able to update that information. And then our volunteer staff will call twice a year and get that information updated with that agency. So that's one of the projects that we are working on now. And then our final project is kind of have an incubator spot for all nonprofits, especially small ones who don't actually have a space. They're working out of their home or they're working out of a workspace center, that they can come to that center, work out of the center. And then also if someone needs services, if they come to that building, then if those services are there in that building, we can direct them straight down the hall to those services. And then we will have other spots in there for nonprofits, a food bank, clothing bank, all in that same building. So that's our 3 main goals that we are working on.
What are the most common requests for help that you guys receive?
Yeah, the most common always are rent and utility. That is the major thing, because when you are an hourly worker and you miss time, most times you do not have sick leave or the benefits to take off when you need to. Single parents, and if they have to take their children out of school and there's no one else to serve, then that cuts your income down. So immediately the 2 major things that people need are always rent and utilities. Fortunately enough, and especially in the McKinney area, we have about 38 food bank services where you can get food. So food is not a major problem. It's still an issue, but it's not major because we have so many services in there. But rent, utility, and healthcare will be the top 3.
Okay, rent, utilities, and healthcare. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, can you just give us a little bit of maybe a story about one of your clients, about how you guys helped?
Of course, yeah, we have plenty. We had a father who was taking care of his newborn. The mother was not in the picture, and it was just him. He actually had all his rent, which was probably about $2,200, and he was short $500, and he was about to get evicted. We connected with him. We at the time had some resources that we could provide, and I took those funds trying to beat the sheriff to the apartment complex to get that paid, and we got there probably about maybe about an hour or less before the sheriff got there and paid those funds for the family, that father and the newborn baby, to stay in their apartment. The father was working. It was just a short period of time that he was out of work, and so he was just short that $500 because now he had to pay for daycare service for a newborn, and so the money was just getting low, and so we were able to help in that situation.
What is the best way for people to find you or support you?
The best way to find us and support us, you can go to oneheartmckinney.org. If you need to help, you will see a red I Need Help button on the homepage. Just click that button, fill out that application, and navigators will call you in no more than 72 hours. We do get an overload, and we have stayed a small organization so that we can do the funding that comes in. We can try to help more than growing the organization at this time. Of course, as we grow and get more funding, we will grow and get bigger. So we try to reach you within 72 hours. But also on that same, on our website, you will see a donate, and you can donate to us. There are several ways to donate. You'll see a one-time or reoccurring. You can also be a part of our membership program. We have some membership levels, and you do get some benefits at different levels for membership. And then once you decide what part you want to do, then there is a drop down screen and you can select where the donations go to our general fund, to the Climb program. We have the McKinney emergency program, and then we also recently started the Princeton emergency program because Princeton, although in Collin County, their zip code does not fall in line with a lot of the grants that are available out there to help residents in the area. So we get many calls from them. So we started that Princeton Emergency Fund program. And so there's several ways that you can give, even if you just have a car donation, land for the building, or you want to give money for that our resource hub, very similar to Serve It, and then you can do that also on the website, or you can just call and talk to myself or Scott directly, and we would love to meet you for lunch and just give you some more details about One Heart McKinney and where we need your assistance.
Wonderful. And do you guys use volunteers?
Yes, we do volunteers. We have one volunteer now that helps with the case management, and then we have about 4 to 5 right now that's going to help us build that community resource directory.
Okay,
so we're always looking for new volunteers.
Always looking for new volunteers. Yes. Perfect. Well, Shanita Samuel, Director of Navigation with One Heart McKinney, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it.